Hello there and welcome. Here we are on Module 2, Training 2. And this is a very important subject. Today we will be discussing the MMSE, also known as the Mini Mental Status Examination or FOSTEEN test. FOSTEEN test is the same thing as the MMSE. Don't forget. So here we are. Why do we care about the FOSTEEN test? So the FOSTEEN test is a test for cognition, okay? Oftentimes used for those with dementia. This is our roadmap. We'll be covering 12 aspects on this module. And remember, there will be 20, will be about 40 questions, so 42 questions, 27% of your test will come from this module. And now we're discussing a way to be more specific than the MSE, right? So we're going a little bit more than the MSE. They are very close. Now, the MMSE, or the FOSTEEN test, is assessing cognition screening. It's a tool that allows you to evaluate metrically from time over time. You're looking for the adult competency or impairment, which it's a funny uh, thing here because when oftentimes I get a call saying, hey, could you please come assess this patient capacity? And I let the doctor know, whoever is requesting, I said, well, I can't. What do you mean you can't? Because capacity comes from the law. It's a law term. Competency, anyone can do it. Anyone that's licensed can do it. So you can do the competency, right? And you can use the mini mental status evaluation, okay? Examination there, or FOSTEEN test. So use this test to estimate its severity and document cognitive change over time. Okay, the population that it is mainly used for its cognitive impairment and could be in the case of Alzheimer's or broadly dementia. Okay, so objectively measure to quantify adult competency status and impairment, not capacity. The MMSE or FOSTEEN test, it's a test in which higher numbers, 0 to 30, the higher numbers, 24 to 30, means no impairment or unlikely to be impairment. The lower numbers, 0 to 9, it's severe. Some of these numbers do change over time. For example, some scales might say 0 to 10, others 0 to 9 is severe. Regardless, it's not the point. Regardless, it is severe. 10 to 19 would be considered moderate. So if a patient score 28, how bad would that be? It's most likely not a condition of concern. Okay? So what's the components of the MMSE? Well, let's discuss some of that. But before we do this, take a look and memorize those numbers, especially the 24 to 30 and the 0 to 9 and 10 to 19, right? If they are between 20 and 30, it's mild. 24 to 30 is no impairment. 10 to 19 is moderate. 1 to 9, it's severe. Now, let's take a look here on the components of it, right? So you can memorize the components of the MMSE or the FOSTEEN test by memorizing oral with 2 R's, 23 RWD, which stands for recognition or orientation, recognition, recall, attention and concentration, registration, remote memory, and fund of knowledge. When we say orientation, that means you date, time, and location. Date, time, and location. Recognition is able to repeat, to recognize three objects. Recall. Recall. It's important. It's a memory test, often called delayed recall. The patient is able to recall three objects after 5 minutes. Know the number. It's after 5 minutes is delayed recall or delayed memory or recall. Okay? Compared to registration. Registration or immediate recall is the patient able to say it after 1 minute. That's immediate, right? Within 1 minute. That's immediate. Immediate recall or registration. Registration, 1 minute. Delayed recall after 5 minutes. Attention and concentration in calculation, right, would be a series of 7 counting backwards. If I ask you what part of the MMSE or the MSE, whatever the question may ask you, is a series of 7 would go into, you would answer attention, concentration, or calculation, right? And the same would be to spell world backwards. DLROW. That would be attention, concentration portion of the MMSE. The L for oral stands for identify, that's the language, identifying two objects, perhaps car and pencil, followed by three commands, the 2, 3 commands, which is the reading, writing, and drawing. Now, since we are talking about cognitive impairment and drawing, let's recall what we learned on Module 1. If you are asked to draw a clock and the patient is unable to do so correctly, what part of the memory or the brain would that be most likely affected? Would it be the frontal cortex? Would it be the occipital, right? Would be the parietal, or would that be the temporal? Well, if you watch one of our videos, you know that it would be the right parietal or the right hemisphere, right? Because that is your reading, writing, and drawing component of the parietal. If the patient is unable to do so, there is a damage in that part of the brain. Remember, recall versus registration, the time difference. Remember, remote memory. Are you able to tell me when you got married? Or tell me something about your childhood. That's your remote memory. And lastly, we have fund of knowledge. That's knowledge that everyone should be aware of. For example, who is the president? That would be fund of knowledge. All right, so if you are to use the mini mental status examination or the Faustin test, can you do it? Can you just download it for the internet? And the answer is no, because it is not in the public domain. Therefore, it's a trademarked task in which you have to pay to use it. What are your options? Your option that you can go with could be something like the Montreal Cognitive Assessment, also known as MOCA. You could use the Mini Cog test or the St. Louis University Mental Status Examination, better known as the SLAM. Now, the SLAM and the Faustin test, they're actually very similar. Lower number is bad, higher number is good. And the numbers do match almost identically, which you will see on the upcoming modules here. So that will make easier to memorize. The 14 test is not in the public domain. It did cost money. Okay. Again, recognition, able to recognize, recall, that's able to say the objects after 5 minutes. Attention, two examples for attention would be series of 7 and spell rolled backwards. Language, tell me about two objects, car and pencil, followed by three-step command, reading, writing, and drawing. Drawing, if it's unable to do so, especially the clock, is the right parietal or right hemisphere. Registration, it's immediate recall within 1 minute. Remote memory, old memories, and fund of knowledge. It is common knowledge. Who is the president? Is an example. All right, so this was short and sweet, and let's go on for a check on learning. Let's say you're presented with a patient of 80 years old who was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease 3 years ago and had an initial MMSE score of 27. Recently, the patient came to you with an MMSE score of 26. As a medical professional, how would you proceed in diagnosing this individual? So, A, label them as severe demented. B, contact the doctor to discuss the possible misdiagnosis. C, reevaluate the Alzheimer's diagnosis. Or D, determine they have moderate dementia. How would you go about with this patient? Well, if you set it to reevaluate the diagnosis, that would be the correct answer because we know 24 and above is likely to be a normal event with no cognitive impairment. Calling the doctor would be inappropriate. It does not address the question. And you know that option A and D does not match its description on the 14 test. Or next question, this one's pretty easy. Can you identify which cognitive assessment scales is not in the public domain? The Montreal Cognitive Assessment, MOCA. B, the Minicog. C, the St. Louis Mental Status Examination, or SLUM. Or D, the Mini Mental Status Examination. And you got this one right. Is the MMSE. Easy, right? It costs money. So, okay, another question. Consider a scenario where a patient asks to interpret a proverb. A patient or a person who lives in a glass house should not throw stones. Which aspect of the MSE is the nurse practitioner evaluating in this case? Are you evaluating for cognition and abstract? Are you looking for attention? Is it a recall information or is it a fund of knowledge? Well, you're interpreting a proverb, right? And that is your cognition, your abstract thinking, right? So that is a part of your abstract thinking, and that would be it for this training. So my name is Dr. Lopez, and we are with the MP Exam Coach family. I'll see you on the next module. Bye-bye.